Abusua yesi otimifuo anase otimifuo timiwa okawa no wabeti se ya no awurafu wabeti na yentwetwe nkomo kakra mfa eye miracle Aboagye ene eye Sammy Gyamfi hu omunyina ye communicators miracles Aboagye ye communicator edema NPP amanyuku no sanso na eye lawyer Sammy Gyamfi eye communicator edema NDC na the moment asankofo we mienu ebehia wo we radio stations bia na busia enye heated argument ketwa because sankofo mienu we na eye opegana ha eye communication eye omo ene de omo ye benchmark nti omo na afoforo aka nyina na ehwe omo susi omo se de be ya omo so betimi anyini aba be ye tse Sammy Gyamfi ene miracle Aboagye na we die eye NDC ni MPP manifesto hu ena miracle Aboagye ene Sammy Gyamfi ehia mo radio stations so a obi ano exercise eye ne de no ene dimu ne de no na nya asase mu na Sammy Gyamfi ebo moden echeche NDC manifesto ni mu a cheche mu a no boss say John Dramani Mahama say eye Ghana for manakwenya na osaba bioma say dey free SHS no ba be extend no e dey akọ first year na say eye omombe wie free SHS no a omoko invest no first year na obeko invest no so abusia say dey Ghana ye say be no so free John Dramani Mahama ene ose wadi ni nyina eba na Sammy Gyamfi bro nsem ne so ekika John Dramani Mahama manifesto nimu ensem bebre na say na Sammy Gyamfi nim say samra wakika sansem we nyina na miracle Aboagye tuwidi na ojoti point na say the miracle Aboagye aba be point holes bebre e wo NDC manifesto ni mu a eye waye manifesto ni less wa me hu say eye manifesto no kra no menye sure say NDC for etna ase plan e ansa na omode eba na miracle Aboagye chiremu a eye Ghana ha no eye NDC akwakotena opposition be 8 years ni na 8 years de akosusu se by now de eye plans any policies ahodo o makwa jote a omode ba bre o man Ghana fo ama o man Ghana aye kra behwe no wose ankam John Dramani Mahama e sha ase se o list sa policies we a agise adechiye ansa na ya pana choso ho eye konjani de shokunkuno former president afeide eye yi policies no eye ya yi nyina ye hu Ghana ye hu se be yi anda o administration na miracle Aboagye asi eye enioma NDC for kikan die ekame akoye se bia yemfa ne se uko ebia Ken UST a na se omo betu SRC elections a eye policies a nkofo no ebekika no ekame akoye se enu abi na John Dramani Mahama enene kofo ekikan je ne die miracle Aboagye eye pressure wasan so dia Sammy Gyamfi biom e wo radio so na busia enya asem kito enyina nim se eye miracle Aboagye edikan ni Sammy Gyamfi ahia sa time no ekoye 1-0 se die miracle Aboagye sa de ba kwa ka ho amana kwa akoye 2-0 enti no eye questions ahodo a miracle Aboagye ebusa Sammy Gyamfi nyina no eye wantimi anyi nyina no Sammy Gyamfi tu a eye mfifire ehyew dem ebusia enya asem kito a enti no audio ni nyina wa ha yenko he eye hawa nkomotwetwe no enyina akọ so say dey ama me kasa eye miracle Aboagye esa de eye score no baako aka Sammy Gyamfi hu akwakoye 2-0 no abusia yembonrem na yenkotie eye nsem ni mu nyina medamase
appears to be more responsive.
I haven't
to the needs.
I really haven't heard anybody say that apart from the NDC. They have been touting their own, manifesto, because I'm really yet to hear anybody say that. And it's especially so because really, if you read the manifesto, you realize that they're completely out of touch with the realities of the Ghanaian people.
Completely.
And yes. I mean, you can infer that from even the questions that you legitimately asked. Clearly, this is a group of persons who have sat in a room, put together things that they believe sound like music in the ears of people just for votes. Because if you compare the things they've put in their manifesto against the principles they've been espousing over the years and what they stand for, is in complete contradiction of what they've been telling the Ghanaians.
You are scrapping e-levy, That's no contradiction.
Complete contradiction of what they've been preaching, what they have been preaching over the period. This is a group of persons who were in power. In fact, this is a flag bearer who has been president before. Today, his spokesperson tells us that no Ghanaian child should have admission to school and not be able to go to school. But they were in government. He was president for 4 good years and left 100,000 average of Ghanaian children at home. The biggest challenge of Mahama, His Excellency, and the NDC have is the fact that they would have to account for his presidency within the 4-year period. Forget when he was vice president. Within the 4-year period that we gave him an opportunity. Because everything, in fact, everything you look at in the manifesto, you would have heard him mention it either before 2012 or during the 2012 elections. And that is where everybody is concerned. Some say not just me or you, because you ask very legitimate questions. Millions of Ghanaians are looking at him and saying, where is this man coming from? This is somebody who is all of a sudden talking about how no sick person should be allowed or left to die. The person collapsed the National Health Insurance Scheme. This is somebody and this group of persons who promised us. They basically promised to give us a one-time health premium. Then we voted for them. For 8 years of being in office, they did not even think about the policy. In fact, what some of their leadership told us was the fact that that promise they gave was overambitious. The General Secretary of the NDC today, Fifi Kweti, said that the promise based on which we voted for them was overambitious, and so they could not implement. And this is the same person that has come to us and said, I was president. All the things that I'm seeing today are things that have been in existence in this country. But when you made me president, I didn't do them. Make me president again, and I'll do them for you. Look at this manifesto, Samson. The manifesto is either a recycled promise from his earlier manifesto he presented to us in 2012. When you give us a manifesto, we expect 2 things. Tell us how you're going to implement the manifesto, which timelines you're going to look at it, and if it's going to transcend beyond your 4 years, of course we should be able to say it. Secondly, give us confidence that you are credible and that you actually do what you say you will do. I look at the former president's manifesto for 2012, and I have it here. And I go through this manifesto and ask myself, how is this man expecting that the Ghanaian persons will make him president again? And I have a list of about 280 promises here. Is here. I can list all of them to you, and you can see it here. Out of the 280 promises he made in 2012, before we made him president, he fulfilled only 77 of them. Only 77 of them, Samson. A whooping 68% of the promises the former president made to the people of this country, before we made him president in the past, he did not fulfill. And so what is news? If the same person comes to you 8 years later and start listing, basically shoplifting things across every space and putting it into a document and listing, what is news about it? You look at some of the things they mentioned, and clearly it tells you why they deliberately sat down for 8 years without putting out their manifesto, and so Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia put the manifesto. Clearly, places where we say we'll do 1, they say we'll do 2. They simply waited. When we say we'll do 2, they say they will do 3. Places we say we'll do black, they will do white. In some of the instances, they simply went into a manifesto and lifted everything and put into their manifesto. And that is where you see a lot of incoherence in the things that they put out. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is very clear. His manifesto is simply consolidating what it is that we have achieved as a country and fixing what is outstanding. And that is what an upgrade does. Some said, anybody that understands technology, understands reset, will tell you that when you are resetting, you have 2 options. Reset to factory settings, which basically is wiping everything off to 0, or resetting to a particular period, depending on when you backed up. I hope you're following. That is what it is.